Oh, girl, no! Hello, everybody. My name is Jerry Bees, and we're going to react to another album today. I'm looking at it right here because that album, the album in question, is Radiohead's Kid A. I bought this album at a library book sale 10 years ago when I was in high school, and I have never listened to it. Not a single time. Very, very excited to get back into Radiohead. I know quite possibly my most incendiary of thumbnails and video titles happened to a Radiohead video that I did. Especially with that one, especially for OK Computer, because I've revisited that plenty of times since the first time I listened to it. Funny enough, I was driving back from a Vampire Weekend concert. And it was a good show, but I was like, shit, I just want to listen to OK Computer. That was in the early stages. I'm still in the early stages of it, but the early stages of, reacting to music live and shit. And since those videos in particular, I have tried to kind of let the music play out a little bit more and not pause as much. But I will defend the sense that the pausing hasn't really ruined the music for me at all, especially on those first listens. With how much I've gone back to, what is the name of that album? OK Computer. And I liked In Rainbows quite a bit. I did, but it just doesn't have the staying power that Kid A had for me, at least immediately. And I remember saying in that video, and some of the comments assured that, In Rainbows might just take a little bit more time. So we'll see with that. I popped it on in the background. I should have given it a more, at the very least, played it in the car in betwixt driving from to and fro. Right. So I'm excited to get into Kid A just because I've had this album for so long and have never popped it in a single time. Let's get into it. I'm excited. So I haven't been listening to the Radiohead albums in sequential order or chronological order, I guess would be the better way to put it, in terms of when they've come out. I know I'm kind of going everywhere, so this would fit somewhere in between In Rainbows and OK Computer. Rolling Stone magazine called this the best album of the 2000s. And at the time, like when I was in high school, right? I had a Rolling Stone subscription, so that was kind of my foray into boomer music and shit. But, I found some of my favorite albums from that list, namely Yankee Hotel Foxtrot by Wilco. I love Wilco, but that album is just a masterpiece to me. I know there's some conflicting opinions about that album. I didn't know all the lore about that album until just recently, because I've heard that be a criticism of, why some people might not like that album as much, because it's just all the lore. That was kind of crazy that I just kind of ran into all that. I was like, wait, what? There's more to this? So let me know what you think of Yankee Hotel Foxtrot when it comes to, this album and that album or other albums of the early 2000s that you thought were better. Would love to hear what you have to say. Incredibly millennial of me? Well, thank you. All right, folks. Without further ado, let's get into it. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And go ahead and click the link below to catch one of my live streams. And if you're ever looking for a way to support the channel, I do have my Patreon, where for $1 a month, I put up all of my past streams, unedited, unmuted, for you to, fall asleep listening to, or whatever you're gonna do with that. Put it on while you're vacuuming. I don't care. So, this is Kid A by Radiohead, Everything in Its Right Place. Gonna pause it there. Just to interject a little bit, right? Somebody in the chat said I woke up sucking a lemon, and that's Nick. How you doing? And I was like, okay, what is that? But they know, I don't know. If you know, you know, right? And what do I know? Well, what I know is that I have loved Radiohead's soundscapes so far, and everything that I've listened to. In between In Rainbows and OK Computer, that's kind of my baseline. And this is right back in form with all of that. Especially when it's kind of changing here and, Tom York's voice goes into a little bit of falsetto and it's just so good. Not a ton to interpret here lyrically, but again, one of the things about Radiohead that I've really come to like that sometimes, it's not really about the narrative of a song, but it's more so like the shape and the sound of the words used, right? God, I love it. This is quite good so far. Yeah, the atmosphere is awesome. Those low synths are hitting me so nice, and I'm actually going to Google this because I need to actually remember this dude's name. Colin Greenwood. Man, I'm bringing up Colin Greenwood just as an extension to how Radiohead portrays their bass and those low ends in the songs. And everything else seems to be kind of swimming around that. It's just... From this moment forward, I'm going to try and not say the word vibe to explain Radiohead. A little bit more of a constraint on me there. But they lay down a good one. They lay down a great one. And listen to this. I got to check out that live set that everybody was telling me about. In the basement where they perform the entirety of In Rainbows. I got to check that out at some point. That is coming. Do not worry. We will be checking that out. Because... just listening to the records, it sparks a lot of intrigue, and I'm like, okay, I got to see if they're doing all of that in real time, right? All right, liking this so far. Am I allowed to dance to Radiohead? They're so good. Just knowing that this is the first song off of an album and I'm getting into the album, it's such a nice kind of ominous opener, an overture, really, as it were. So, like I said, nothing really going on with the lyrics there. A lot to interpret there, probably. But I got playoff baseball on my mind. I can't interpret this right now. Oh, Kid A. The titular track, ladies and gentlemen. The titular track. Twains. So, I'll have to say already. So I kind of laughed there because it just took me back to Fitter Happier off of OK Computer, which recalling back to that, that song was terrifying, and I was quite moved by it. It's very loosely a song, but I don't know. Its place on the record was just killer. So that vocoded voice, right? This voice doesn't sound as automated, but it definitely, at least for me, kind of harkens back to that a little bit. But their use of like blending electronic instruments with, which I'm guessing are real instruments, they just continue to do this shit. In this channel, like I'm getting like that, kind of like electronic-y lullaby kind of tune. That's what it kind of sounds like to me. And then on the other end, I'm getting like really low end, like steel pans. That's probably not what they are, but that's what it sounds like. Now, if all of it's electronic, that's just gonna blow me away. Or if the shit I think is electronic is just like modded acoustic shit, I'm done for. Imagine the lullaby he played to his kid. Do like this imagery here. We've got heads on sticks and you've got ventriloquists, right? I just kind of like what that's playing on there. Something about puppets, right? I don't know. Trying not to say vibe. This is just Aphex Twin with a bass guitar and real drums. Okay. So I'm unfamiliar with Aphex Twin. So if you want me to react to Aphex Twin, let me know. Like I know some things. Like I have a couple songs on a couple playlists, right? So just they do lo-fi so well, and I know this isn't like 24-hour lo-fi to chill study to kind of shit, but it's similar. Now I think this is a little bit more involved, but it's putting me in that place, and that's a good place to be in, I think. And they're definitely showing like a mastery of that. Love Minecraft music. Why'd you have to say that? Why'd you have to say that? Holland. As soon as I say his name, he leaves. Okay. Yes. Okay. Colin, I missed you, bud. No. No, sirs. So, a lot was going on there towards the end. I don't know. This song just give me like Freddy Krueger kind of character vibes. And I'm going to elaborate no further on that. You know what I mean? standing in the shadows at the end of my bed. Perhaps the children follow me out of town. I don't know. I'm getting like boogeyman energy. So when the drums kick in right around here, I really appreciated that, like, they're all the way in the back, and it sounds like, the kick drum is like right next to my ear, and then, all the synths are layered on top of it, but I never lose the drums, just the kick drum. And then so at the very end, it sounds like, I was like, is that like a cat? And then it just like blends into this completely different sound. Yeah, like right here. Kind of sounds like a cat, but then follow that sound. I guess the cat sound maybe fades away and then that comes on top of it, but that was so nice. I liked that quite a bit. Yes, and I do love the toy piano kind of sound there. I'm glad I didn't say if I was going to ask if this was going to be similar to No Surprises. I'm glad I didn't say that. It was very different, I guess structurally as a song, but nothing is lost in that regard though. All right, moving on. Liked that. Liking this. The National Anthem. Keep wanting to turn it up louder. Oh wait, I can on my side. Are these guys about to rock out? All right, so we're kind of slipping back into that main groove there, and it's getting me excited because what I've come to find with Radiohead is you can't really follow them to any one direction, you kind of go where they take you, but I'm kind of just getting excited, and that kind of paid off just there, like as soon as those ride cymbals came in, I was like, yes, give me more. Somebody made the comment that this song sounds a lot like the opening scene from Snatch. And I got to agree with that. Snatch is fucking awesome. You like dags?
Do you like dags?
Dags.
What? Dags. Do you like dags?
Oh, dogs.
I'm digging it right now, and would love for it to like get a little bit harder. Tom singing like I'm probably gonna like it anyway. There's been no stinkers thus far. I know this is only the third song, but no sneakers. Oh my God. Okay. Back it up. Some of you may say, he's overreacting. That's not genuine. Anybody who's been watching me, especially live for a while, might know that I am a sucker for horns. Now, I would have appreciated any horns in a Radiohead song, right? Would have absolutely loved it. Getting a Barry sax out of nowhere, just absolutely ripping it, and then I think they added a trombone on top of that, and then the trumpet at the end. It sounded like a trombone that they added on top. Philip Selway was back on the drums for this album as well, and I loved the drumming in OK Computer. And it's good here, but I was like, dude, just go absolutely fucking crazy on it. You know, I just want him to just absolutely blast ass everywhere on the drums. Now, we have some time left in this song, and I'm very happy for that. Like a Radiohead jam sesh, like, let's go. Okay, there's tons of things going on, and it's just so nice to be just completely blanketed by all of the sounds. And it's just that bass line that's just so consistent through it. Now, it sounded like there was, you know, some change in the music there, so we'll go back a little bit just to catch up on it, but that groove is just sick, man. That bass and the drums are just powering through, keeping you moving and grooving. Yeah, exactly. It's... You can put anything on top of that, you know, a good sick bass line. And again, is it the craziest bass line in the world? Absolutely not. But it's the vibe they're laying down. God damn it, I said vibe. It's it's the scene they're laying down. It's the soundscape, right? Oh, girl, no! Wow! Okay. So... this is a theme of Radiohead's that I don't think I've vocalized, but especially after hearing this, and actually from the first song, or from the last song, Kid A as well, and he mentions it here, you know, everybody has got the fear. Fear is, I find, to be one of their strongest themes, and how you convey that through sound, because I can't tell you the last time like I got the sense of fear from a horn section. I mean, towards the end there, oh my God. You know, in that spot, you know, I could tell like people think that like metal is scary, and like that makes sense, but it's conveying that in other ways with other sounds. And that was something else. That was, that is absolutely superb. Absolutely terrific. Par excellence here, folks. This was really, really good. Nice little Radiohead jam sesh. I really appreciated that. That was good. How to disappear completely. There's a joke there somewhere.
right there. That's not. I'm not here. This isn't happening.
Y'all ever feel like a ghost? Maybe a specter, a phantom, a plastic bag. Yeah, and I do like the acoustic guitars in the back, and then we got the bass plugged up to an amp there. I don't know, feels, and there's like a lot of space in between those. Like they're just good at like spatial awareness in my ears. I don't know how else to describe it. Spatial awareness is key, folks.
I'm not here. I'll be gone. The moment's already passed. I'm not here. I'm not here.
So, I mean, pretty straightforward as far as, structure is concerned here. It's just that, slow groove onward. Not doing a ton of fancy things, but it's the little details. It's the little sounds going in and out. Also, and I think thematically this works. At least for the song. I kind of just expect all Radiohead to be like, sadder or weirder in that regard. But, this straightforward in the sense that, how to completely disappear, or how to disappear completely being the song title. And the lyrics seem to fit that. Either you feel as though it's like if you feel as though you have already disappeared, or you want to. Haven't picked up on that exactly. Or just keep reminding yourself that you're not there and that this isn't happening. I'm not even real. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what it does in the last 90 seconds or so here. I like it. I haven't loved it as much as the first 3 songs so far. It's a great ride, It's good. It's well made. That's for sure.
I'm not here. Not here.
Shit's got me in a trance. Yeah, this is another song that really makes me appreciate Tom York's voice, especially in that latter half. Ate my words again, folks. That last 90 seconds, really, like, once the lyrics stopped, I was able to just to kind of swim in the little pool that they had drawn for me, right? Other bands might behave like beavers and dam up the water for you at any point. Could work. These guys, nah, man, they hate beavers. Let that water run. Let it run all over you. All right, moving on. We got Treefingers. PS2 system menu. A little bit here. It's just so angelic. And we got somebody in chat saying Treefingers is an ambient song based on guitars and effects pedals. Well, if Johnny Greenwood is the genius you say he is, and that I've come to know him as, moderately speaking, this is something to achieve that way. And this is a thing that they seem to really like doing, and the guitars sound very bright. And, like, you know, I feel like this song almost looks exactly like my little light box that I have that is controlling all the ambient light in this room right now. Like, it's just that void. I just want to seep into it and sleep, you know? Like, the shit on the higher end just is so yummy. And by the way, just earlier, when I said PS2 system menu music, I mean that in the nicest way possible. This sounds prettier than that, but it was giving me the exact same feeling inside. I think that was them just showing off. I mean, I've already come to know them as masters of production. So I think that's all that was right there. They're like, hey, let's just create like just beautiful shit for 4 minutes. Why? Because we can? Yeah, that's probably a good enough reason. Optimistic, foreign territory, but okay. The rhythm section showed up to work today. The guitar riff on top of the bass is awesome, and those like primal little drums, liking that quite a bit. I love me some monkey sounds, and this is some monkey sounds right here. Did you ever think that anybody would say, hey, Radiohead is monkey sounds? I have. Just saying. The subscribe button's right there. The best you can guitar going crazy over here. I like him.
This one drops the payload. Fire for the animals. Living on the best you can is good enough. You can try the best you can. You can try the best you can. The best you can is good enough.
Okay. So, one of my big praises of OK Computer was there was all these different sounds happening, and, I think I called it like a technological dystopia, right? That was kind of the idea I was getting from it. But I kept saying that, despite all the different sounds that are going on and the layering, that rock and roll was at the core of that album. And, if you squint your ears a little bit, In Rainbows was kind of, but I think In Rainbows was kind of it was a whole nother beast. Whereas this one, it that air of just rock and roll of the rock jam is back on this record, and it's serving the album quite well because they're not doing anything too crazy with it. They're just laying down the VIBE, if you catch my drift, because I can't say it because I don't want to. So the line "you try the best you can" was told to Tom by his wife while he was stressed about the OK Computer tour. Oh, yeah. So this is optimistic, right? Because, he was stressing about something, not being very optimistic about something, right? If you're optimistic about something, you're not stressing about it. And, I think that band really enjoyed the, fruits of their labor, with all the critical and commercial success of that album. So, yeah, looking back on it, yeah. That's just kind of interesting to me because there's this concept of puppets, of marionettes, ventriloquists kind of returning here. I don't know necessarily how to extrapolate that and connect it between the two, but I guess it's more of just an idea of having things to control. Surrogates, maybe. I don't know, just kind of having an idea in the back of my mind, at least.
You can try the best you can. There are souls over the air.
Okay, Tom.
There are souls
Hook.
over the
Hook.
air.
Yes. I love a cheap drum fill. And that wasn't even cheap, but it can be cheap and I'll love it. Drum fills are great, and I've been really, really needing Phil to absolutely pop the fuck off on the drums, and that's exactly what he did there, and I was waiting for it, and he did it, and I love it. So good. Man. Okay, switch it up, mix it up. This is a party. We're optimistic now. Okay, so a little bit of a transition there. We'll play at the end of the song before I'm done kind of talking about it. Yeah, I don't know how to interpret the dinosaurs roaming the earth, but I think that's just Tom York's way of saying Dinosaurs roaming the earth, and I will elaborate no forward. Or I will elaborate no further. I just really liked it because it's non sequitur, at least seemingly so. At least to us, it could have a broader, more personal meaning to him, but I don't care. I was just like, okay, just say that, cook. I'll let you do that. It didn't take away from the song to any degree. The drums towards the end was really missing that. Not that I need it, but I like it. And yeah, just pretty good, man. I like when they rock out, and they do it so tastefully too. Like they're not like so grotesque about it, right? Because I know, you might hear me say, yeah, dude, Radiohead like rocks out, like nah, like not in the traditional like, but man, they're good. In Limbo, not in Rainbows, contrary to popular belief. Nothing too crazy going on than other than just they create such pretty music. They really do. This one, there's no like consistent beat on this one. I mean, there is not a head bobby one, but a head swayy one. I don't know. I find myself lost in this song, but then I'm reminded of the song title In Limbo, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. If you're new here, that just happens. Yeah, that just makes sense. It's like, okay, now I get it. Now this makes sense. Despite the lyrics, fantasy world, I guess you can kind of extrapolate that down into being in limbo, but I think going back to the atmospheres they maintain, that's what it is. I mean, I was, trying to figure out like shit to say, because that's what I kind of have to do with this, right? And I kept I'm like, oh, I'm in limbo, neither here nor there. Those like lower tones are just so interesting. Fake word, I know, but so that song just kind of reminded, like, I definitely have to give In Rainbows another hard listen to, because I've had it on for like a second, trying to get back into it, because I felt like there was, and it could just be that I'm not an In Rainbows guy, but there was less stuff in Rainbows for me to kind of grab onto. Whereas in this, I feel like a lot of it's very similar, but I like this is grabbing me more. I don't know if it has to deal with the blue background on the fucking lyrics page, but that's just to say that, like, I can't nail down like why this is the case and In Rainbows wasn't. Maybe I just didn't like how much they were not rocking out as much, quote unquote, in Rainbows, but I'm digging this quite a bit. Sounds like there's like a change machine in my right ear.
My head comes off. I swallow till I burst, until I burst, until I lose in a bunker, lose in a bunker. I'll send children, burst and children. Yeah, everything all of the time. Yeah, everything all the time.
You know, one of the most fascinating things about Radiohead are the phrases that Tom seems to repeat. They use repetition to their advantage in most cases. I don't think there's too many particular examples to where I'm going, okay, this is way too repetitive. The repetition is fairly interesting, and as far as like, you know, the certain phrases or lyrics in a song, whether they're relevant or not. And that extends to the sounds as well. I don't know. Hide your kids, hide your wife, I guess. That's what this song's giving me.
I say it's coming, let me hear both sides, let me hear both sides, let me hear both. I say it's coming, throw him in the fire, throw him in the fire, throw him in. We're not scared, mongering, this is really happening.
Yes, Tom did it.
We're not scared, mongering, this is really happening. Everything all of the time. Everything all of the time.
Okay. Kid A is at this point the most danceable Radiohead album, hands down. I'll go one step further and say Kid A is nothing but the greatest EDM album ever made. That's what I'll go ahead and say. Fucked up. Let's go back here. And especially in this part, or in this part right here, you know, there's like another vocal track of Tom's that's making me all discombobulated and confused and afraid, and I love it. Yeah, and that dance beat's just so easy. You know what I mean? Pars says the song is about how the world is dancing while it's coming to an end. Yeah, that's I'm kind of gathering that at least there's one party in this song that seems to not really care, or is at least, you know, seeing above it and is very aware of what's going on. You know, we're not scaremongering. This is really happening. Ice Age, come and throw it in the fire. Yeah, I didn't know if that mention of like the bunker at the top of the song was really going to carry on past like the first verse, but we're here. They really love dystopias. there goes that shit I said about pacing. Because if there's any song that's I think has overstayed its welcome just a little bit, it might be this one. I don't know if I'm complaining necessarily, just an observation. We'll see how this fits going into this this next song. So we will get back into this groove at the end here. Yeah, like narratively, like somebody had said that this one is one of the better ones in that sense. And that, if you're looking for that, I suppose, just hearing the, I'm assuming they're using pads there. I've had a lot of fun talking about the various things Radiohead has used to make their sound. So are those pads? Is that a machine that's happening that's kind of carrying that beat forward? I want to say pads, but that's just nothing but a hunch. So, yeah, let me know. Eat, Phil. Get it, Phil. So I'm loving that those keys in the back. It's giving me some nice like Korg energy going on there. And that beat is something else. And actually, somebody beat me to it. I was gonna ask what time signature that this is in, and this is in 5/4. And that's just apparent from the beginning. Just Phil just starts laying down that beat as soon as the song starts. And the bass, it's like it's almost exactly how I like my bass. That is the one overarching thing that I've come to really enjoy about Radiohead is that their bass just hits my ears so nice. Like I can't. It's so good. It's so good. This one's good. This one's funky. Drop everything. Is this just a song about parenthood? Or something about schools? This one just kind of gives me like everyday life kind of a deal here. Especially, yeah, dude, Colin's bass is just absolutely terrific. Really moving up the ladder on my list of like favorite bassists. And that's without hyperbole. Just honestly, I've just dug every moment he's gotten to shine in any of these tunes. Radiohead really loves exploring the themes of like disassociation, and we've heard it before. I think when the album kind of went off, right? Going back to the themes of being a ventriloquist, and then mentioning marionettes and lights are on but nobody's home. Nobody wants to be a slave. Feeling as though you're not in control, or just kind of alluding to that concept. And as always, the music is there to back that up. It's spacious. It's lonely in a way, ironically enough, because it takes a group of people to make it. But maybe you find meaning in your loneliness when other people express it as well. Thought about that? Bet you didn't. I was the only one who told you that. Yeah, and they're exploring that too, because it's like, even with the mention, I recall saying something about feeling like a specter or like a ghost, kind of alluding to that sense and that concept of disassociation, detachment, right? It's the little things they do so well. And I love hearing songs that, like how they've recorded the guitars, bass, or, just the guitars, where I almost hear the finger, like the fingers hit the fret and come off of the fret. And that's I eat that shit up. So far, man, this album is it's that highbrow shit that I always felt that Radiohead was known for, and they do it very well. But maybe I'm thinking just going back to listening to the two albums that I've listened to so far, In Rainbows may have been a little too highbrow for me, a little bit too heady. Maybe my IQ isn't high enough, or maybe it just wasn't my thing. But here, I'm finding a very good balance between, the headiness and then the grooves. Not that it needs to have that, but the whole point of me doing this and reacting to music and discovering shit is just to get a better palette. I there's a fair share of avant-garde stuff that I've listened to, but not necessarily do they lay it down the way that Radiohead lays it down. They're just so good. So, motion picture soundtrack. See, already, just I want to say I know what instrument this is, but I can't really think about it. No, it's not a melodica. An air piano? Is that what that is? It's got a little... Sounds like an air piano, right? That's what it sounds like to me. Organ?
Sleeping pills help me get back to your arms. Cheap sex and sad films. Baby, I think you're crazy. Stop sending letters, always I think you're crazy. Maybe I think you're
Okay, so The last song I reacted to that made me feel this way was I Might Say Something Stupid by Charlie XCX off of Brat. If you have not listened to Brat, you need to. And with just how upfront and sad it was, and maybe it was just finding out that Tom had a wife that passed away, or that this was written before or after their divorce. I don't even think that matters, but that idea is in my head of something that's lost. And this is, it's sending the message that, this romanticized idea of romance that we see is not how shit works in reality. Like it represents a funeral, so maybe the death of something, and I will see you in the next life. I don't know. Tell me what this song means after the fact. But man. Like, I Might Say Something Stupid by Charlie XCX. Just talking about another song that I reacted to recently, I was just like floored by just how immediately forthright and sad that it was. But how you create that sound to kind of encapsulate that and help you move it through. Because sometimes words can be cheap in that regard. And here it's just paired so well. And those harps are just crazy. It kind of just fades out anyway. That was terrific. That was absolutely awesome. That might be my favorite song on the album. I mean, the first, Treefingers. Yeah, the first four, like the first four songs were really, really good. And then we kind of got into, some more B-side territory, some ambient music in Limbo. This 1-2 punch was just fantastic. And if you're new here, this is kind of what I do after the penultimate song on the album. I kind of give a recap. I've listened to quite a few albums from the early 2000s. And I actually should have pulled up, because I did just finally grab my entire collection of Rolling Stone magazines. Because earlier in the stream I said, I've had this album on CD for 10 years, bought it used. And I had a subscription to Rolling Stone in high school, and, I read their list of best albums of the 2000s, and this was number one, and I never got around to listening to it. I definitely get the praise. I mean, the thing with Radiohead is they're not going to dumb it down for you. It's not the most accessible stuff, but I don't think that that's either wrong nor right. But they're just masters in the studio. They are masters of themes and concepts, and marrying those and portraying those themes and concepts with the pairing of just lyrics and sound and different instruments. You don't know where the fuck they're going to take you, but you're probably going to be satisfied by the end of it. Last song, Untitled. Kid A, I am so glad that I finally got to meet you. It's been a long time. It's long overdue, but I finally got to you. This just makes me more excited to listen to more Radiohead. Like I said, I know that this one was so critically acclaimed. At least Rolling Stone calls it the best album of the 2000s, but I know a lot of other publications rank this album quite high amongst its contemporaries at the time. And I get why. Like I said, they don't dumb it down for you. It's not the most accessible shit, but if you have the patience for Radiohead, you will be rewarded. Nobody else sounds like this, man. There's been like other bands I've heard and songs I've heard where before getting into Radiohead, to where getting into Radiohead, I can kind of go back like, did they get that shit from Radiohead? I bet you they got that shit from Radiohead. No, and this has got me very excited for the basement session of In Rainbows as well. That will be coming. I think that's going to come after I do the Bends. So we'll do that, and then we'll do the basement, and then take a little bit of break off of Radiohead. I'm doing the same thing with Taylor Swift, right? So after my kind of planned programming with Taylor Swift, I'll take a long break. But the good news is there's tons of shit by Radiohead that people want me to listen to. There's tons of shit by Taylor Swift that people want me to listen to. And I know that you're new here, probably have a whole bunch of shit that you want me to listen to. So tell me what that is.
Diggity dog. Breaking. Diggity dog. Shark.